The bewilderment that is displayed by Oshaki Foster may have a turnaround as the WBC orders an immediate rematch for he and Conceicao after the controversial decision that saw Conceicao lift his junior lightweight title away. Let's talk about this. According to an article released in Boxing Scene, the link will be in the description box. The WBC have officially ordered a rematch between Robeson Conceicao and Oshaki Foster for the junior lightweight title after the controversial decision in their first fight earlier this month. Conceicao dethroned then champion Foster at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey on July 6th via split decision. The contest seemed an easy one to score after Foster controlled the vast majority of the contest by outboxing Conceicao and taking very few shots throughout. However, to the amazement of Foster and many fans watching, two judges disagreed and handed the challenger the WBC title. Foster was visibly upset after the decision was announced, and then asked for his thoughts. He had to say, "I thought it was a shutout. I thought it was an easy fight. I didn't get touched except for a headbutt. I'll be back. I want the rematch, of course. I want the rematch. They stole this fight from me. I wanted to show the world that I can bang it out, and if I want to, I can't be touched." It obviously wasn't good enough for the judges. There was something else to add to this that Foster didn't say. There's a growing lack of appreciation for talented athletic fighters such as Oshaki Foster, who can present a tremendous problem for fighters who aren't polished all the way around with their skill sets when it comes to the sport. You have to understand that the fights are judged on a merit of ring generalship, clean and effective punching, defense. These have been tried and true over the entire time of boxing, but there have always been lopsided viewpoints when it comes to the officials judging fights, whether it be favoritism or something more nefarious in altering the scorecards. But the judges who scored this, Ron McNair, Paul Wallace, and Tony Lundy, had these scorecards on such polar opposing opposites that it really called into mind. McNair had it 116 to 112 for Oshaki Foster. Paul Wallace had it 113 to 115 for Robeson Conceicao. And Tony Lundy had it 116 to 112 for Robeson Conceicao. How does one official in McNair and the other official in Lundy have totally opposite scorecards but the same count of rounds? There's something wrong here. And when you look at the talent that was on display, the way that Oshaki Foster boxed, the way that he was able to ward off, fend off, defend the shots that Conceicao threw at him on a consistent basis, nothing penetrating, and then he could score at will. What are the officials looking at? Because you have to know that these guys are doing what they do best, and Conceicao being busy but ineffective, you don't reward he just for being busy, because in that instance you make the case for O'Shaquie Foster being effective, punches well placed, solidly scoring. And at the end of the day, you even saw when the scorecards were read, the elation that was shown by Conceicao, because they had just known that they were losing this fight and decision. You could just see from O'Shaquie Foster's reaction, the pain in his face and the disgust with what he was up against, because he is a fighter and champion who had been tested quite recently over his last several fights, being put in circumstances where he was not favored, fighting an opponent's backyard, also weight issues, facing the tough fighters one after another. O'Shaquie Foster over his last 4 fights have fought the guys like Ray Vargas, Eduardo Hernandez, Abraham Nova, and now Roberson Conceicao. Conceicao has had the opportunity to fight for a title several times over his last few fights with the likes of Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez, Emmanuel Navarrete. So something is afoot here. You could tell that it is not what you're necessarily looking at, but you can kind of see where the PTB behind the scenes are trying to make amends. This is not the proper way for boxing. It's not. You should award those who have put forth the effort and have garnered the best of their abilities to come together on one night and perform at the top of the sport. That's what Foster was able to do in this fight. I had remarked that his performance was reminiscent of a young Floyd Mayweather when he was referred to as Pretty Boy Floyd, where Floyd's hands and feet were as quick as lightning, and he can get off. He could make opponents miss. He could trap shots, catch shots, shoot, parry, counter with clean and effectiveness that made him levels above his contemporaries. And there was respect in that. But as we see now, officials are losing respect for that the athlete brings to the ring. And it's unfair because they're bringing what they naturally have, what they have harnessed and cultivated. And they should not be penalized or victimized because they're good and because someone else isn't up to their level. This is one of the strongest accounts that we have seen where the participation trophy mindset has been readily made available under these circumstances. It is not fair play, and it should be spoken against. People need to be held accountable, and I'm not talking about the fighters here. Roberson Conceicao fought to the best of his abilities, but he was not better than O'Shaquie Foster on July 6th. And he should not have been awarded that man's title, who has defended his title against quality opposition. He never sought to run and escape. He sought to meet out the challenges because he has his eyes on becoming an undisputed champion. And that within itself speaks volumes, because there are a number of fighters today who could be in a position to become undisputed, and they're running away from the opportunity, but not O'Shaquie Foster. So if the WBC is warranting an immediate rematch, I applaud that and I support it, and I would like to see it take place. But it should have never gone the way it did in the first fight. And that's something that we have to do away with in the sport of boxing. If we can't get beyond this, we will see repeated circumstances time and again. And that is not fair for the fighters who put it all on the line for our entertainment. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are about the WBC issuing an immediate rematch between these two fighters? Leave comments and let's discuss. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.